paint, and I've taped them up as well. Now, if I'm being honest, I wasn't impressed with the quality of the boards from Temu, and this resin worked out okay, but I had a few issues. These are the metallic paste that I ordered, again from Temu. I just wanted to test them out because they're about half the price of anywhere else. I've got 3 different colours: purple, blue, and the silver one. And I've got this white paste as well, this ocean white pigment, so it's more of a pigment paste. Finally got myself some silicone mixing jugs. This is also some silicone oil, which I'm going to be trying for the first time, to really create those cells. So this is a cheap epoxy resin A and B set. Don't be fooled if you order them off Temu. They're only 500 mils, so I'm hoping that's going to be enough to do these 3 smallish canvases. And I'm hoping to get all 3 of them by using the same epoxies, by using the same colours, in a pattern where I can hang all 3 of them on the wall next to each other, and they'll be great as individual paintings, but also as a trio. So let's get on with it. Let's get mixing that resin. Before we start, safety first. Get that respirator on. Get some gloves on as well. There's a lot of, looking on the Facebook groups, there's a lot of people who, where they haven't worn respirators, have really struggled with the health. So make sure you wear a respirator when you work with epoxy. And gloves are always useful to stop you getting sticky epoxy everywhere. So here we're going to go. Just going to mix up the epoxy first, so always going with the hardener first rather than the epoxy. It tends to mix better. So all of this going in. As you can see, the plastic ring also dropped in, which I need to fish out. But again, don't be deceived by the labels if you do order from Temu. These are only 250ml ink, and it still cost me around about £15, so I probably would have been better off getting some quality resin from another supplier, shall we say, for the consumer that's come through. But I've ordered it now, so let's see how it works. Just fishing out that ring. Everything always goes wrong when you're recording, so I don't mind sharing my mistakes with you as well, so that hopefully you don't have to make them as well. So in we go with the resin itself as well. And if you've never mixed it before, guys, what you're looking for is you're going to normally mix it for around about 5 minutes or so. Get rid of any streakiness in it, so it's crystal clear. You'll still get some bubbles and things like that, but you can sort that later. It's about mixing it all together thoroughly, and so that part A and part B always mix together. These are 1-to-1 resins, so I've not had to measure it. I'm presuming that the measurements from the factory are correct. And I'm mixing all 500 mils, so that makes it a bit simpler for this project. Mix the hues, create those visas you make. Throw it on, let's see what happens. This is fun, it's pure passion, the colors are bright, it's a sight to see. If we can do it, you can too. Just follow me, like and subscribe. There we go, just getting these smaller pots ready for the colours, and there's 4 separate colours that I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to bore you with each and every one, but the great thing is with these, they've got the measuring numbers on the side. Hopefully they're reasonably accurate, so I'm just going to put 80ml of clear resin in each of these pots first of all for the colours. And then we can go ahead and put our first layer down on the canvas. The only thing is when you're using these silicone mixing jugs, they're not the easiest to handle. So the first colour we're going to be mixing is the white, ocean white pigment. Again, this was from Temu, so I'm curious as to the quality of these items, but I thought, you know what, it's worth giving them a try. So just putting a few drops in there, mixing it round with the stirrer. What I will say is these silicone stirrers are great. Once you've done with them, give them a wipe with a baby wipe, bit of alcohol, and they're ready to go again for the next project. When you're mixing your pigments and your colours, make sure you mix them thoroughly, otherwise it will impact your pour. It's the white done. Now moving on to this silver metallic paste. Again, the keys with these pigment pastes, you don't need a lot. And actually I was a bit concerned with the consistency of these pigment pastes because they were a little bit solid and it seemed like there was a film on the top. I don't know if that's normal with these pigment pastes or not, but I just decided to dab this in and that would be enough for the project. So that's the silver. Now moving on to this really nice metallic blue colour. Again, doing exactly the same, just dipping the stir in and then mixing it all thoroughly together. One of the nicest blues I've actually seen pigment-wise, so I'm really hoping this turns out well. And then the final colour is a metallic purple. Again, I was a bit concerned about the consistency of this. A little bit solid, to be honest with you, and that concerned me when it came to the paste, because as I understand it, pastes are meant to be more of a liquid. But we'll see how we get on. So that's all the colours mixed. Really like the colour of this one, actually. Now I'm going to try and spread the clear that we've got left over evenly on each canvas. Try and get it all out so that nothing's wasted. Now just trying to spread it evenly across all of the canvases. I should say that's reasonably even now. Time for the heat gun, just to get rid of any of those bubbles and spread it a little bit more. Done, it's ready for the fun part, the colours. So I'm no artist here, guys, but I'm just going with a bit of a pour effect. So first on with that white. Well, quite a bit of that, so hopefully we'll create a few waves and a bit of a sort of a wavy effect. Next, going on with the blue. And now the deep purple. Lovely colour, this. I'm hoping that this turns out great. But we'll see. Again, no particular order, I'm just trying to create sort of a swirly effect. And now in with the silver. Now, I know from previous pours, with this being metallic, I don't want too much going on because it will take over everything. So that's basically the concept I'm going for. A bit of a swirly pattern, which I'm hoping is going to make some really cool wave effects when we actually get the heat gun on it. But just decided to put another drizzle of white on, because I didn't think there was enough sort of going through the different colours. Now that's done, just moving things around a bit with the heat gun, with a little bit of heat, trying to get the colours to blend a little bit. This really is the fun part as well, so enjoy it. Now, I did find that the epoxy seemed at this point to be spreading really well, but I say at this point because you'll see at the end there's a couple of sort of fisheyes that are formed, and I've heard that's quite common with this cheaper resin. I think really you want a good tabletop sort of epoxy for things like this, but I'm going to continue working it because that's what I ordered. Loving the effect here. No particular pattern, I'm just trying to move the colours into each other. It's already creating a bit of a wave effect, and you can just see on the left there's already some cells forming, and that's before I put any sort of silicone oil or anything like that on. The other problem I've since found is that my table in my workshop is not quite level, so that causes a bit of an issue when it comes to things like this. Now I'm just pouring the colours across. So again, it's allowing them to blend that little bit more and mix with each other. Had a little bit of white left, so I just decided to add that on. Hopefully it'll create a couple more waves in the three pieces that we've got here. For the epoxy, let's make the swirls. Using mica powders, watch the colors twirls. Lights on, respirator tie, set. The paint added. Now for the silicone oil, which will be interesting. I've never worked with silicone oil before, so I don't know what's going to happen. I've heard you don't need a lot in order to help the cells, which is basically why you're doing it. So I'm just going to use this dab out with little bits on, and you can already see the cells that are starting to fall. It's pretty amazing, actually, to watch it happen. No particular order, I'm just dotting these around. Now you have got to work quickly with silicone oil, because if you leave it too long, it will have no effect whatsoever as the resin starts to cure. So you have got to try and work quickly. So I'm just going to leave these to settle now for a minute, and I've still got some resin left from the 500ml, so for the first time ever, I've actually got some spare moulds prepared, so I'm actually going to pour it into these moulds to see what actually happens. So the first one's this jewellery cabochon one. I'm just going to try and mix these in and see if we get any cool effects going from it. Again, I'm no expert in this, but I thought, you know what, I'd rather not waste any of the resin since I paid for it. So just filling up a few of these. We've got this huge globe mould, which it's the first time I've used this one as well, but I tried to layer the resin here to see if I can get some different looking effects. We'll see how these all turn out when the canvases are complete. So I had this teddy bear one, and I thought I'd do a few of these earring molds as well, just to see what they turn out like. Trying to mix up the resin. Some of them getting 3 colours in, some of them getting 2, and we'll see what they turn out like. So there we go, all of that resin, not wasted, put into these molds, and we'll see what they turn out like when everything's cured in 24 hours, or in this case, for you guys, about 10 seconds. But, yeah, but really chuffed that I managed to use the spare resin this time as well, rather than just throwing it away or leaving it in silicone molds. So we managed to get quite a bit out of just the spare leftovers. So it's probably, 3 pairs of earrings, a nice key ring there, and some nice cabochons, providing they turn out well as this round glow, which I'm hoping will look a bit like a planet when it's all cured. Before we go, one final look at these canvases. Really happy with the way that one of them looks on the left. I think that looks amazing. Let's see what the cure like. So, 24 hours later, what have we got? So, let's have a look. This cabochon here looks really cool. Loving the details on it. Hopefully it'll make a nice pendant that. I don't think it's too big for one of those. We've got this globe as well, which actually I think came out reasonably well. So I just layered up a little bit of pigment. And this cute little teddy bear keyring, which came out amazing. Next, we've got these jewellery molds. Again, this came out quite nice. I love the blues and the purples, the way they mix together. With just a little ring of silver, which I put down as the base. Again, another nice one. It's going to need a little bit of cleaning up, but it's almost like a galaxy effect. Again, this one's more of the deep purple, but it's still got that glitteriness from the powder, but not the powder, the pigment. So, again, looks really nice. I may have to make some wooden frames. Now, this one, I went in first with the silver, and actually, I think it's come out a little bit lackluster. So I don't know if I'll be using that in anything. This one's the same. A little bit too much of that silver, so just bear that in mind when you do them. The silver, if you put it at the base, you won't see much else. Same with this little heart, it's mainly silver with just a touch of the purple popping out the bottom. This one turned out really nice as well, so it was almost like a galaxy effect. Those swirling stars. So I liked that one. I think there's definitely something I can do with that. Now I'm just deciding if I'm going to start making my own pendant vackers out of wood as well. So ready to mix the wood and the epoxy together. Again, this one came out really nice, this round one. I like the touch of silver, but it can be overpowering. But in this one, I think it was just the right amount. Look at the shine on it as well. It's almost like glass. Another Galaxy Star one, and again, this came out really well. I'm definitely going to be playing with this technique with some more clear resin, and see if I can combine the two. But I love that sort of metallic swirly effect. Liked this one as well. Again, not too much silver around the edge, but just enough to give a bit of interest. It's almost like an eyeball shape, this one. And the last few. Now, this heart was amazing, and I don't know how. I think I must have dripped a bit of the silicone oil in, but we've almost got that pattern of veins. I don't know if you can see it there in the centre. And again, we've got that metallic sort of luster going around. Really like that one. And again, the final big pendant. Again, it almost formed like a little metallic brain in there. So I think that was where I swirled it with the stick that had the silicone oil on. But again, really happy with that one. And the final set were these earrings, where I tried to combine the three colours, and hopefully they come out well. So we'll go with this pair first of all. Again, really liked those. I thought there was a good combination of the colours there. Let us know what you think in comments. Would you buy these? I'm intrigued. As we are going to be looking at setting up a store on Etsy, and I just wondered if people do actually purchase epoxy, and if so, do you like these designs? Again, this set I thought came out really well. The combination of the three different epoxies together. And the good thing with these ones, with a hollow sort of centre, is you could always put something in that centre as well if you wanted to add a piece of interest. I thought these are really nice as well, just for that metallic sort of blue sparkly effect. If somebody wanted blue-purple earrings, you couldn't find a pair that were as nice as these, I'm sure. And then the final pair were these palm leaves. I think the problem I had with these is, again, I went in first with the silver, so on the front, which is the smoother side, it's predominantly that sort of silver colour, and for me, not that exciting, and actually with these I think they'd be better the other way round, with that swirl. So gonna have a look at these, maybe put a bit of UV resin on the top, and have them that way round. Let me know what you think in comments. But all in all, I think we did quite well out of 500 grams of epoxy to get those three canvases, all of these potential earrings or jewellery pieces, and I'm looking forward to playing with these pendants as well and seeing what wooden backings I can come up with to really combine the epoxy and the wood, because I think that's an effect that people will want. Let us know what you think. And obviously, let us know what you think to that canvas as well. I'm going to put a final picture at the end. If you've liked this, please like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one.